Welcome to ShadowSpark. Today, I will share the story of a hardworking a boy who failed many times, cried in silence, faced insults from the world, but never stopped believing in himself. This is not just a story about success, it is a story about pain, patience, struggle, and the power of never giving up. His name was Arav. Arav lived in a small town. The roads were broken, the electricity failed every night, and people there believed that dreams were only for rich families. His father worked in a small tea shop near the railway station, and his mother stitched clothes for neighbors to earn a little extra money. Every morning, Arav woke up before sunrise, while other children slept peacefully. He carried buckets of water from a hand pump, far away from home. After helping his parents, he sat near the small window of his room, with old books in his hands. His books were not new. Some pages were torn, some pages had stains, but to Aram, those books were treasures. He believed education could change his life, but the world around him laughed at his dreams. Look at him, people said. He studies day and night like he will become a king. Poor people should stop dreaming so much. Study will not feed your family. He will fail again. Those words hurt him deeply. Sometimes he smiled outside but cried silently at night. Still, every morning he started again. Years passed. Arav worked harder than anyone around him. He studied under street lights because electricity in his house disappeared almost every night. Mosquitoes bite him. Winters froze his hands. Summers burned his skin, but he continued. Then came his first big exam. He failed. The results shattered him. People laughed louder this time. I told you, one man said. All this studying is useless. He wasted years for nothing. Arav locked himself inside his room. For the first time, he doubted himself. He looked at his books and wondered if the world was right. That night, his mother entered quietly. She sat beside him and placed her hand on his head. She said softly, Son, failure is not the end. The only real failure is when you stop trying. Those words touched his soul. The next morning, Arav stood up again. He started preparing once more. Days became months, months became years. He failed again and again. Every failure broke another piece of his heart. Friends moved ahead in life. Some got jobs, some got married, some started businesses. But Arav still struggled. Even relatives mocked him during family gatherings. How long will you keep studying? Do something useful. Your father is getting old. You are a burden now. Those words burned inside him like fire. But deep inside, a small voice kept saying, Keep going. One rainy evening, Arav sat at a bus stop. After another failed interview, his shoes were wet, his stomach was empty, his eyes were tired. He watched people rushing home while he sat alone. At that moment, he realized something important. He had spent years trying to get someone else's job, but maybe he was meant to build something of his own. That night changed his life. Arav started learning about business from free videos, old newspapers, borrowed books, and internet cafes. He had no laptop of his own. He saved money for months just to buy a second-hand computer with a broken keyboard. He started working on a small idea, a simple online service to help local shopkeepers sell products digitally. Nobody believed in him. People laughed again. Now he wants to become a businessman. He cannot even clear exams. He is dreaming too big. But Arav has stopped listening to noise. Every day he worked 16 hours. He made mistakes. His first website crashed. His first customer left. His first investment failed. Sometimes he slept hungry. Sometimes he thought of quitting. But every time life pushed him down, he remembered his mother's words. The only real failure is when you stop trying. Slowly, things started changing. One shopkeeper trusted him, then another, then 10 more. A small service began helping local businesses earn more money. For the first time in his life, Arav felt hope. He worked harder than ever. Years passed again. His tiny room became a small office. His old second-hand computer became a team of employees. His idea became a real company. People who once laughed at him now watched him with surprise. But Arav never became arrogant. He remembered every insult, every tear, every sleepless night. One day, a big investor from another city visited his office. After hearing Arav's journey, the investor said, "People like you do not build companies, they build inspiration." That investor invested millions in Arav's company. Everything changed after that. News channels started talking about him. Magazines printed his story. Young students followed him online. The same people who once insulted him now proudly said, "We always knew he would do something big one day." But Arav smiled silently because he remembered how those same people once laughed at him. Years later, Arav built one of the biggest companies in the country. Thousands of people worked under him. He bought a beautiful house for his parents. He, he rebuilt the old tea shop where his father once worked day and night. He opened free education centers for poor children. And every time he saw a struggling student, he saw himself. One evening, Arav was invited to speak at a huge event filled with young students. The hall was packed. Everyone waited quietly. Arav walked onto the stage slowly. For a few seconds, he said nothing. Then he smiled and spoke. I failed many times. People insulted me. I cried alone. I doubted myself. But I learned something important. The world only respects success, but success respects only those who never quit. The entire hall stood up and clapped. Some students cried listening to him because deep inside they were fighting their own battles too. Araf continued speaking. If people laugh at your dreams, let them laugh. If life breaks you, stand up again. If nobody believes in you, believe in yourself. One day, your success will become your answer. That night, the story inspired countless young boys and girls who were silently struggling, and somewhere in a small town, another boy sat under a streetlight with old books in his hands. For the first time, he felt hope because of Arab, and that is how one struggling boy changed not only his own life but the lives of many others. Success did not come quickly, it came after pain, after failures, after loneliness, after years of silent hard work. But when it finally arrived, the same world that once ignored him stood up to salute him, and that is the power of never giving up. Thank you for listening to this story on ShadowSpark. If the story touched your heart, then remember one thing. Your current struggle is not your final chapter. Keep working, keep believing, keep moving forward. One day, the same people who doubt you, they will tell others proudly, I will knew this person would succeed. If you enjoyed this emotional story, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to ShadowSpark for more powerful motivational stories that inspire hearts and change lives. And always remember, a dream does not work unless you do.